Hey guys, I've been asked to um, kind of make a recording of what my version of a God mode Risk of Rare 2 run is, and this is getting pretty close. It's usually incorporates the Royal Capacitor and a bunch of fuel cells. I don't have what is it? I can't think of the name right now. It's uh, It's the one that reduces your equipment cooldown. Anyway, I don't have that yet, but that makes this absolutely broken. Your basic attacks mean almost nothing. Um, yeah, it's just absolutely ridiculous. Um, I didn't I didn't start recording earlier because I was just gonna play a little bit for fun. I wasn't expecting this to turn into anything. Yes, I do have unlimited lunar coins right now. That's just because I like to have fun. I'm I'm by no means do I play competitively, or this just makes it a little bit more fun, less grindy for me. Um, Not everybody is that way, just the way it is for me. But yeah, you can see the Royal Capacitor firing off quite quickly. Like the cooldown on this is something like 3.5 seconds, I think. Um, but it just gets even more crazy. Since the last patch, it was nerfed a little bit because it would only take like 4 or 5 um, Gesture of the Drowns to get it firing off that quickly. Um, but even so, it's just absolutely ridiculous. Like the base cooldown for the Relic Bastion is 20 seconds, and now I got it down to 3.5, which is it's absolutely absurd. And on top of that, you can see I have like 6 fuel cells, or yeah, equipment fuel cells. It's just absolutely. I should really be finding. I should find the teleporter. I'm done in this one. I'm just messing around at this point. You see that hard light afterburner? Very useful with most characters, but especially the Huntress. It gives you almost unlimited mobility. Is it? Yeah, I'm just gonna record until I lose. Gonna see how far I can go, and then I'll post it up online. Yeah, it's just absolutely absurd. You get to the point where you're you're killing bosses so fast they like your regular attack. Like I said, does absolutely nothing in comparison to the Royal Capacitor, which I think does 2,000 or 2,500% your base damage. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh, I see. Okay, what do we got? Stone Titans, these things are a piece of cake. Providing that I don't get hit by that. There we go. Let's go again. Yeah, you can just see absolutely murdered 2 of them already. These 2 will go down in the next little bit. I must say, for me, Transcendence is a must-have for if you're playing Huntress, just because she's a glass cannon, right? Emphasis more on glass than cannon, and just having that extra health wherever it comes from, it's just so beneficial. And now with the Topaz Brooch, it's like the one healing-ish item that helps you considerably. Oh, and the and infusions. Infusions are also very, very nice to have with Huntress. Just waiting for the teleporter to charge. Yes, I hit the lunar node as many times as I can, because I can. See what pops up in there. Always looking for Gesture of the Drowns or Transcendence. Those are the two that I feel are the safest to take. Oh, speed. This thing is absolutely ridiculous. Perfect. Time to be completely broken. I'm not gonna touch him because... Ooh, do I want more? Thinking I like my build a little bit too much to get rid of items right now. Okay, but... Seven charges of the Royal Capacitor. And my Aura Ring. That was something like a 1/7 of his health. That was absolutely ridiculous. I have taken him out completely before, but that requires a ton more items. I think I did that with 8 or 9 shaped glass. I think that's how I beat him last time. The one item, though, I will say I will get if I can find it, or if it shows up in the Lunar Bazaar, is that one item that I mentioned before that I still can't remember the name of. It's just a common occurrence for me. I'll think of something and completely draw a blank on the name. Oof. It's fine. He's dead. Are Topaz Brooch is considered a utility? I kind of figured it would be considered like a medical item because of the boost in your health pool. Though I guess if tougher times don't show up in there, then why would the Topaz Brooch? Well, I think that is my new favorite my favorite item from the recent patch. It's a Topaz Brooch. Very tempting, but I would need to find a different equipment for that. Topaz Brooch working overtime. Soulbound Catalyst, that's what it's called. Yeah, kills reduce your equipment cooldown. So useful. It makes the run absolutely retarded. Another Topaz Brooch. Always need more movement speed. Yep, more. Never enough. Okay, but I will say, if you go this route, there is one thing you have to avoid, and that is avoid picking up the backup. Especially if you have a Soul Down Catalyst, because it will break your game. Somewhere there's a recording of the time that I did that, and it quite literally crashed the game, because as soon as I killed something, my cooldown was at something like 0.1 seconds. This was before the patch that changed gesture of the ground. And when that happened, I hit somewhere along the lines of a negative 2,154 or something. That was my cooldown for the backup. The entire side of the screen was just filled up with stacked friendly drones. It was ridiculous. Actually, I didn't need to pick up that Red Whip. Red Whip is one of those that I find more annoying the longer the game draws out, because like you'll get to a dead spot and the moment you start to slow down, or like if you get hit and you have to slow down, you have more than one. You lose a considerable amount of speed, and it sometimes messes up your pace, or if you're not expecting it. If you get hit by a wisp or something, those things seem to never miss. That's a lie. They do miss every once in a while, but it's still rare. Another Hopper Feather. Never too many jumps. There's a lot of things that you just can't have too many of. Red Whips, you can. Witching Seed, kind of useless. Key, if I find a lockbox. Strafe is absolutely ridiculous. Where was I again? With this build, you can almost forget about what's happening in the game. What would be nice right now is Head Stomp, just because we have so much movement speed and jump that no way to negate the amount of full damage you take. With Head Stomp, as long as you haven't used it, you completely negate full damage. Really nice. I think these are actually my favorite mob now, my favorite monster, just because they're a challenge even once you get into high levels, because they deal so much damage. And obviously this wouldn't be possible if you didn't have a ton of lunar coins. So, but it is fun to do this every once in a while. Sometimes to give myself a challenge, like avoid all these items or something like that, or there's mods you can install that remove certain items from the game, and so you can play without ever finding one of those items, or even if you were to find one, like if you normally find one, it was removed, so you would never actually find it in the first place. Where is it? Good. Those things need to die in a hole. Those are so frustrating. Incredibly strong. Especially at low levels. I was doing a run with Yuri X, and we had all died, and he spent probably a full 15 minutes trying to fight this one brass contraption. I can't think of the I can't think of the actual name for that type of elite, but it's like leeching or something. Anyway, spent like a full 10 minutes trying to kill it, and it just wasted so much time that by the time he got to the teleporter, the boss was way too strong to even finish off. Been looking for the lunar newt, I just haven't seen it anywhere. Probably just at the teleporter. Teleporter's over there, isn't it? Also really loving the new music. Yeah, it does get old listening to the same songs over and over for every single level, every single run you do. Just gonna back off, let myself get some, back up a little bit, and so should we get that one more? There we go. Perfect. Oh, what's the leeching? I haven't found a Warhorn yet. That's kind of surprising. Oh. I guess that's the end of the run. I wasn't paying attention to my health pool. But yeah, that's the essence of what my God run looks like, just without the Soul Bound Catalyst. It gets ridiculous, trust me. We're gonna wrap it up here.